I'm making it worse than it is. I don't think that I would have seen this and been like, this guy's destined for major stardom. Ooh, okay, so this is a significant move forward. And I feel like I relate to him at this stage. What you just pointed out with the piano, which I also observed, I was kind of like, oh, I see myself in it all too much, because your vocal, like the lyric and the vocal and the melody line and everything you've written kind of takes priority. So this is like, you're a little surviving it. Is this him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before debut.
Okay, so I want to say this. Because my exposure to Jay Chou really has been... So I know that he becomes a better singer. I already know that he becomes a better singer. But for the record, this is... I don't think that I would have seen this and been like, this guy's destined for major stardom. Which, keep in mind when I say that, I say it with the knowledge that that in fact does happen. So I'd have been wrong. Yes. I would have been wrong, but this singing is like, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay.
You tried to rap.
Boo. Actually, I'm making it worse than it is. So out of curiosity, you two who know and love him, what is your reaction to this? What do you think of this?
I would have never guessed that was him. He does not sound the same. He doesn't really look the same.
Yeah, it was a surprise to find this video.
Was it?
In the first place.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, this is after he debuted.
Okay.
He debuted in 2000, year 2000. So this is 2001.
Ooh, okay, so this is a significant move forward, and this is rap-tastic, right? We've kind of moved into kind of singing, kind of rapping.
He's kind of the founding father of mumble rap in Chinese.
Mumble rap?
Yeah.
Isn't mumble rap like...
It's just like not very clear and just kind of goes on and on, like free flow.
Okay.
Hey,
that was like... That riff
good.
kind of came out...
Yeah.
What is it? What was that?
It's a higher key.
I should fully change the key?
Yeah.
You know what? This is actually an interesting place to witness him at, because whereas in the first video, if I was on the judging panel, I don't think I would have seen a ton of potential as far as where he ended up. I mean, he did show skill in that first video. Yeah. I don't know how appealing it was, because you can be skillful and still not be like deliciously appealing. But by this point, we're in this hilarious suit and tie at a keyboard situation. But we do hear that his voice has developed, and we are starting... Did he write this?
Oh, yeah.
So that's his thing.
All his own songs.
So that's what it is.
Yeah.
Composition is part of his major thing.
Yes.
So now that he's not having to free flow to somebody else's chords, he's free flowing to his own ideas a little bit more.
Before his debut, he was writing songs for big artists. He was working in a studio owned by Jackie Wu.
So would it be fair to say that I see his skill popping out, but that this still feels a titch unstable? Does that feel fair?
I think it's fair, yes.
Yeah.
Ethan hasn't watched a lot of Chinese material yet. I feel like Ethan, what do you think so far?
Okay, I think I don't know. Okay, definitely I agree. His voice has gotten a bit better. What I was actually noticing was the piano playing was a bit interesting.
Rhythmically, yeah.
Not quite there. But no, it was a good vibe. Like,
but I feel like I relate to him at this stage. Well, I really have done a lot of solo stuff through my career, and especially in the beginning, it would be like girl at piano. And because I'm a vocalist first, what you just pointed out with the piano, which I also observed, I was kind of like, oh, I see myself in it all too much, because your vocal, like the lyric and the vocal and the melody line and everything you've written kind of takes priority. So this is like, you're a little surviving it. Although I think he becomes a very good instrumentalist. Yeah?
He's always a good piano player, but I think right now he's just not used to performing in front of people.
That
and just debuted.
I think he also probably... Does he even have in-ears in? He may have in-ears.
He does. I think
so he's also getting used to like playing with a beat, and we also never know if the monitoring is good, etc., etc. But I hear you on I hear you on that. Okay, I'm gonna say two things. We know how I feel about hearing the humanness in a singer. Now, by all means, this is reasonably unstable, okay? We'll all agree. Pitchy. Not entirely supported. However, I would choose human 100% of the time than hearing this fix. When we don't follow through, support-wise, we end up with what I've often called push-pull. So it feels like this. We end up hitting something too hard and not following through entirely, or vice versa.
Do you hear a push-pull? I don't really hear a push-pull.
Okay, so you would fight me. You don't hear the difference between that and that? You don't hear that he's doing like what I would call a sforzando, right? Where he's over committing to the very beginning of each note and having to back up and fix it. Maybe push pull. Don't picture it that way.
Okay.
It's over commitment and then having to adjust.
Okay. Yeah.
That section was better. The other thing that can cause that unstable feeling is pitch. And when we're not used to holding ourselves as singers super accountable to pitch, there is just that feeling for the audience of unsteadiness. Even if the listener can't exactly identify what it is they're hearing or why it feels completely unstable, it is the combination of those two things. That is what I call mushy mushy poo poo in my practice. When a riff instead of turns into ma, we don't hear the definition. This hook, that is what I would consider hook, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That there was some good repetition in there. What you'll see in Chinese music, I don't want to cloud your opinion, but here it is. Chinese music has, well, I'm curious what you will find. That there is a lot less repetition as we find in Western pop, and I say pop under the big umbrella, meaning jazz, country, pop, blues, whatever. Their melodies, I find, they're a lot longer of motifs, and a lot there's less repetition within the motifs. And there's different intervals than we're used to hearing.
So less memorable to us?
To me, yes, to me.
And a lot of key changes too.
A lot of key changes. But this is kind of not the best way to introduce you to it because this is fairly in keeping with what we know.
Yeah.
But you'll see.